Hello, welcome back to the SWAR Podcast, where aging, wellness, and wisdom intersect. I am your host, Maggie Lazar, and it is my pleasure to welcome you back into the room. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, welcome aboard. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. Today, we want to talk about wellness, right? Um, I am here in Panama, and this is the height of summertime. As you know, or you may not know, we only have two seasons here in these Americas down here, Central and South. It's rainy season and dry season. And during the dry season is what we call our summer. The temperature can get really high. I'm talking high 80s, 90s every day. So, with that, especially this year, it's been mentioned in the news that the heat index is high, and it's that our area is experiencing a level of extreme temperatures. And whether you believe in climate change or not, this is not a conversation for this podcast, but we know things are changing, that we see more extremes of weather patterns. Whether you agree with that or not, these are facts, right? So whether it's the sun appearing or feeling harsher, the floods being, more intense, you've noticed that. People talk about it all the time in the news. So what I want to talk about today is, as a group of older folks, people miss the idea that as our body ages, and I know some people don't want to acknowledge that the body ages, but I don't know about you, but when I look at myself in the mirror, yes, it is aging. And when the body starts to age, things just don't work as well as they used to. And that includes your defense mechanism, your immune system, your immunity. This is why once we pass 65, it is more recommended that we get more vaccines for this, vaccines for that. And again, this is not a podcast about the benefits of vaccines or how dangerous they are. I'm making a point that we are more susceptible to infections, and it might take longer for things to right themselves. When you're young, you are strong. Things may be happening in your body that you're not even aware of. The fight is going on, but you may not have acute symptoms, maybe like a little malaise with, your blood cells are just fighting whatever that invader is seen as. But as we get older, it's like that's been stripping away as the years have accumulated. So that goes for you being able to withstand, high temperatures. You know how many older folks in the news, at least in the US, where you hear that, they found them dead because of extreme temperatures. They didn't have AC, air conditioning. So we over here in these areas where we can have extreme temperatures, we beg you, I tell you all the time, in the height of the day, between 10, 11, and 3 and 4, stay indoors. If you love to go out, Uber and go to the mall and sit there and enjoy the cool weather. This is not the time for you to say, oh, I'm going to be out there dilly-dallying and just enjoying myself. And then you get a heat stroke, which can be deadly. I just spoke to his sister. She said somebody came in, they were dehydrated, they were having diarrhea. Listen, you are vintage. You need to think. You cannot do what you used to do in your younger years. I implore you. That's being smart. It's not saying I'm old, even though we're getting older, whether we want to or not. But it's up to us to keep our minds straight to say, okay, you know what? I can't do this. How many times I say, oh, I used to do this for so long. Now I can't. I realize that things are changing and I need to adjust. So, sis, please keep yourself safe out. I'm out all the time. You guys know that. But I'm wearing my hat, or I'm taking an Uber, or I'm on the bus. I'm not out there in the heat. That's why I don't even go to Merca Panama, because I realize being walking back and forth in the heat, sometimes you start feeling some kind of way. That's when you have to stop, get some water, sit down, remove yourself. So sis, be smart. Realize that your body is not responding the way it used to. There's no shame in that. It's not anything that you're doing that's wrong. It's just a natural progression of life. All right, sis? So go out there, be a good human, but be good to yourself first. Be good to yourself first. All right? I'll talk to you tomorrow. God loves you. I love you. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bye.